Hey, good morning. We're back in the garden this morning. It is had a little bit of rain and storms pushed through last night. You can kind of see there on the zucchini where it blew them all the plants back in here. But we'll go ahead and start the tour here on our little pepper pad. We got our bell peppers that are coming along nicely. Look at that. My goodness. These are going to be yellow when they're ripe, so we still got a little bit going. Even got little babies on these little bitty plants that are starting to come in. Let me see if I can get it focused. There you go. Bell peppers seem to be doing well. The datil peppers, these Florida peppers, first time growing them here, they have really come on strong this week with their more sunshine and less rain week. And then the cayennes still are just full of green peppers, waiting on those to ripen on out. Should be any minute. They got lots of blossoms going even on the small ones. Had to get some tomato cages on a couple of the peppers where the zucchinis are beating the hell out of them from this wind. But as you can see, every cayenne's got peppers on it and still pushing lots of flowers. They should be blooming throughout the season until we get the cold weather. Here's a good one. See all the flowers and peppers on there. Little bell peppers. And then we lead into our sunflowers back here. Been doing a little work in them. Clean out the rows, and hey, looky here what we got started. Looks like the first sunflower of the season. Got another little blossom back here. While we're walking this, I'll show you the watermelon plants. If I can find him, there he is. They got blossoms on them, but they're tiny little plants. They're certainly shaded. So we're gonna get in there this weekend and clean out around our watermelon plants and maybe give them a chance to grow. Sunflowers are all about to pop. So here's the tops of them that you can see, and these are about chest high on me. Again, I'm short, but sunflowers are fixing to really look neat once they start opening up full, and that should be a welcome addition to the garden. Isn't that neat? So then let's check out our zucchini. They got whooped around by the wind and weather we had last night. But we got fruits to cut this morning. Here's a little one. Got one there. I'm sure I'm missing 8 or 10, but I'll come back here in a little bit with my knife in my hand and grab these. I've been eating zucchini about every day for the last couple of weeks. Squash too, what I can't give away. Lord of mercy, the squash and zucchini have just done awesome on these little mats this year. You can see got little ones coming. It's a daily harvest. It just thick stalks, lots of blossoms. I don't know if you can hear the bees buzzing around, but you got lots of bees in here doing their job. There's a little bitty zucchini just starting out. Like I said, would be better if I could be in here every day picking it, but right now I'm about every other day. Oh my goodness, there's one I've missed. Holy cow, look at this. If I can step in here without killing too much. This is what happens when you don't cut every day. You can see the size of that joker. Get out of there, weed. But my goodness. He's a beast. There's a good one. And down the zucchini line here. Goodness gracious. There's one. And then we get over to the squash, and we see what happens when we don't cut squash every day. They get a little large. Oh, there's a good one there. Lots and lots of yellow squash still blooming. Zucchini from this side. See the squash and the blossoms. It's just steady producing. We've put one round of triple 13 fertilizer on this, but haven't in the last 2 weeks just because of so much rain, and it seems to be doing all right without it. And you can see where I've been working the sunflower rows. Looking pretty good. And the sunflowers, they'll face the sun all day. So as the sun sets, they'll turn and stay facing into the wind or into the sun, just like a solar panel. So then our soybeans still continuing to impress me. This is insane, the amount of beans per plant that this is continuing to put off. We may pick a few of these this weekend. I don't know if I can do this one-handed, but I'm trying to pop it open to show you. But the soybeans themselves are still underdeveloped inside the pods, but every plant has got soybeans on it, and more than a few. And they're starting to grow well. They're growing up now that we're getting sun, break from the rain. Our other row of squash, here's one that's what happens when you don't cut every day. But we'll get these cleaned up today, and we'll be back down Friday afternoon and pick them then. Cucumbers, still just insane growth. Next year I think I need to put them on a tall trellis like the gourds and the loofahs. But the cucumbers are just insane, the amount of production on them. That was a little teardrop shape. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. There's just tons of blossoms inside this trellis. And they're growing the full height of it, not just down low or not just up high. They're all the way up and down. Little baby cucumbers. He'll probably be ready to pick tomorrow. They grow that fast. You can see that. Yeah, there we go. They just hang down in there like that, and you really got to pick through the leaves and look for them. You can see down through there at the blossoms, and there's tons of bees in here pollinating everything and getting them ready to go. Ooh, another jar of pickles on the way. Look at that. Wow. Just awesome production on the cucumbers so far. And these are Boston pickling cucumbers. Here's little buddy doing his thing. You can hear there's another pickle up in there. Bees everywhere doing the bee thing this morning. Enjoying this little bit of cooler weather we got. But if every flower turns into a cucumber, oh my goodness, you can see there, that's what happens when you don't pick it every day. That one would have been ready yesterday. Let's go look at the size of this joker. My goodness gracious. And he's starting to turn yellow, so that one's done. Wouldn't even be good for slicing up, but good gracious alive. All right, cucumbers. All right, and then let's go check on our decorative gourds. These little pick bags, but the decorative gourds have really started putting off babies in the last couple of days. Seems like every point now has baby gourds and steady new blossoms showing up every day. Lots of new growth on this sunny side here. You can see these are white blossoms, so I'm anxious to see what kind of gourd or squash this kicks off. And this side's the yellow, and it's been kicking fruits for a little while now. You can see these are getting pretty close to mature. About the size of a light bulb. Pretty little gourds. Hard as a rock. Not real sure when you know those are ripe or ready to be picked. So got a little research to do there. Loofahs are continuing to grow. Learned the other night that loofahs put off male and female flowers. So the ones on this stick end with these multiples, these are the male flowers. And after they bloom, they get these little stick ends, which I was concerned about. But learned that the female flowers come along, and that's where the actual loofah sponge will push out. So the male flowers, they said, come out first, and so I'm anxious to start seeing loofahs, actual loofah sponges start to push off like the little gourds do. I'm looking for little babies like this on the loofah side. So still doing really well, growing amazing. I'm starting to connect the two from where the gourds are growing. I'm connecting them into this other trellis here to facilitate their massive growth. And then we'll head back over here to the tomatoes. Surprised I'm not pulling tomatoes yet. Oh, there's one. Here's a breaker. That one I'll get today. It looks like he's about ready. Oh, nope, we're not getting that one. So feed that one to the critters, but got a couple that are getting there. These are on the far end here, are the beefed up beefsteak. Again, they're supposed to be great big ones. They're looking good. There's a little bad spot. Looks like a bird pecked in it, checking on it. That's all right. I'm not worried about wasting a tomato. We got lots and lots of tomatoes coming. Bunch down here, coming along nice. Every plant's got tomatoes on it. Some a few days ahead of the others, but we should be pulling tomatoes here in the next week. Here's a sunflower. There's another little flower popping out. I imagine they'll bust wide open today if the sun will come on. Then here are our Queen of the Night tomatoes, mid-size, and then on this side's our Romas, and they're doing well. Need to do some work on that one, fix him up. Victim of the wind again. It must have gotten pretty bad here last night. We had a few limbs down in town. It didn't wake me up. I certainly didn't recognize it as a bad storm, but looking at the garden, it seems like it was a bit windy. So we'll get all that straightened up here in a little bit after we cut. Here's our green beans, and like the soybeans, they're responding well to sunshine and holding off on the rain for a minute. Certainly the ground is holding enough moisture for them to be growing, but we're getting blossoms. Hoping these will continue to strengthen up. Oh, there's a green bean. Look at that. There we go. So they're trying. Certainly not near as far along as the peas are that we're fixing to look at, which are, I'm fired up about the peas. They're looking good. Here's our sunflowers out through there, and you can see a few little yellow dots poking at us, but it's fixing to be full on smiling at us there. And then our okra, boy oh boy is it grown. Again, the closest to me is the short okra that we grew in the backyard and at home last year. It's really getting thick down low. I mean, just big giant clusters of stalks. A little thick again, but Not seeing any flowers on the short okra yet. And then the regular Clemson spineless behind it there. You can see the stick development. I hadn't started clearing the leaves, but as we start getting into production, I'll clean the leaves up down low and just leave the top leaves to encourage that okra production at the top. Here's our little wind chime banger. It's not doing its job of keeping the raccoons out of the corn, dadgummit. But may have to get the 17 out after them. I'll show you why here in a minute. Our lima beans still struggling. I don't know, haven't been able to get in here and clean out between them as much because as you can see it's been a muddy mess. But they're trying to poke up. They're putting flowers off. Just not, I don't know, we're gonna have to figure something out on the lima beans. Even though it's a bush style, it's not doing well. Oh, but then we get into our peas. Good Lord, look at the peas. Look at the flowers. Look at here. I mean, here, we'll see if we can open this one up one-handed. Peas are developing nice. We're just waiting on that color change, and they are starting to change now. You can see it's just peas, peas, peas. Everywhere is peas. I got 4 rows of them all the way down, and they're just covered in blossoms and covered in peas, and I'm ready to get going on the peas, y'all. Can you tell I'm excited? It's just nice to see because I know how delicious they're gonna be. There are little loofahs again, blooming up top. All right. Then we get into our corn here. This down on the bottom end is the peaches and cream. It is about 6 feet tall now. And every stalk has got ears. The silks are out. It's dropping pollen from the tassels. I pulled a couple of pieces that the raccoons got into a couple of days ago. You'll see the raccoon damage up here on the top end here in a minute. But it looks like I got really good pollination. The corn ears were developed all the way out to the tip. They just weren't, the kernels themselves weren't fully formed yet. It's obviously too early. I mean, you can tell because the ear's not full yet and the silks aren't dried. And we're in the Silver King corn now. That's got that darker silk. We're close. We're getting close. Here you can see where the raccoons are sampling. Son of a guns. You get in here. They're getting in on this edge somewhere because you can see they just come in and jokers, they come in and they take one bite of the corn and go, oh, it's not ripe. Well, I mean, that ear's done. Let's see if I can open it up for you here. Yeah. So you can see I got good pollination all the way to the tips. The individual kernels just aren't there. Let me focus in on that. You can see where that joker took one bite and was like, no, it's not right. So let me go take a bite of this one. Let me go take a bite of this one. Fixing to start slinging lead at y'all. I came back and adjusted my fence low because I thought they were climbing under it in a couple of places. I just don't know if that's the case or not. But anyway, the garden's looking great. I think we're going to try pumpkins. We're going to put some pumpkins in this back corner back here this weekend just because we got the space, and I'm on top of the garden maintenance for right now. So we'll have a little time to clear off a patch and maybe try to grow some pumpkins. It's the end of June, so we'd have all of July, all of August, all of September, all of October. I got 4 months to grow out the pumpkins to see what they do. Here you can see the division line. This is the Silver King. It's a little more golden tassels and then the darker silks. And then here is the Peaches and Cream with a blonde tassel and yellow silks. Corn's looking really good. Peas looking really, really good. Lima beans, we'll see. Gourd cages, cucumbers, green beans, tomatoes, soybeans, squash, zucchini, peppers, sunflowers. All right, that's the update for today.